Neuralink's secret goal, telepathy by 2030. Welcome back to Hive Mind, the dawn of telepathic humanity. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and today we begin where the public story ends, at the edge of Neuralink's most explosive truth. Because what's being built under the banner of curing paralysis and restoring motor function is only part of the plan. Elon Musk has already said the quiet part out loud. Neuralink's long-term vision is consensual telepathy, direct brain-to-brain communication, a future where speech is optional, where thoughts are shared, where the mind is no longer private. Let's unpack that. Neuralink is a brain-computer interface, an implant that connects neurons to a digital system via ultra-thin threads. The public narrative is humanitarian: help the paralyzed walk, let the blind see, assist those with ALS to type with their thoughts. And yes, the breakthroughs in this space are real. In 2024, Neuralink's first human trial showed a paralyzed patient using the implant to control a cursor with impressive speed and accuracy. That's the front page story. But if you dig into Musk's older interviews, white papers, and investor presentations, a deeper motive emerges. One that has nothing to do with disability and everything to do with mental transmission. Musk has repeatedly framed Neuralink as the next phase of human evolution. He believes that in order to keep up with artificial intelligence, we must merge with it. That bandwidth, how fast we can input and output data, is the bottleneck. His solution: cut out the middleman. Eliminate speech, typing, and even physical expression. Connect brains directly to the cloud and to each other. This isn't science fiction. He has said, verbatim, that he wants to enable consensual telepathy. And that word, consensual, is the first red flag. Because if consent is something you have to emphasize, then its opposite must also be on the table. Neuralink's patent filings and internal roadmaps hint at far more than motor control. They reference emotional mapping, mood detection, memory retrieval, and bidirectional stimulation. In other words, not just reading your thoughts, but writing to them. If two people are wearing Neuralinks, and the system can identify and transmit emotional states, memories, or mental images, what you have is the foundation of telepathy, not magic, but synthetic. But Musk isn't the first to try this. In 2019, researchers at the University of California, San Diego linked two human brains using non-invasive EEG and transcranial magnetic stimulation. The experiment was rudimentary. One participant thought of a shape, and the other identified it correctly at rates above chance. But the door was opened. That same year, a separate experiment successfully linked 3 human brains in real time, allowing participants to play a collaborative game without speaking. This was done with consumer-grade hardware. That was 6 years ago. Now think about how much progress has been made since then, behind closed doors. Meanwhile, DARPA, the Pentagon's experimental research wing, has been running a program known as Silent Talk. The goal? Brain-to-brain soldier communication. Not telepathy in the mythical sense, but encrypted, nonverbal command transfer using neural signals. The use case is obvious. Imagine soldiers communicating in total silence across battlefields, issuing orders, alerts, and threat signals directly into one another's minds. That's a tactical advantage. But it's also the beginning of mental convergence as warfare. The soldier becomes not just a fighter, but a node in a network. And if you can inject clarity, you can also inject fear, confusion, surrender. That's not a theory. That's strategy. The implications go far beyond the battlefield. Once Neuralink, or any comparable system, establishes stable two-way communication between brains, we will face something humanity has never encountered: the merging of thought itself. Words are slow, clumsy, filtered through emotion and culture. Thoughts are fast, pure, unedited. When thoughts are shared directly, what happens to privacy? What happens to language? What happens to lies, or half-truths, or self-protection? What happens to memory when it can be seen? What happens to forgiveness when the feeling behind your apology is no longer hidden? The first promise of brain-to-brain tech will be connection, intimacy, understanding. No more miscommunication. No more isolation. The marketing will sell empathy. But beneath that, a much more invasive reality will unfold. Telepathy means no more separation between your inner world and theirs. It means the collapse of emotional boundaries, the flattening of individuality, and the permanent erasure of solitude. You will never again be alone in your own mind, unless you disconnect. And disconnection, in the future, may be framed as antisocial, or even subversive. Because make no mistake, once mental networks are possible, opting out will be seen as a threat, especially in high-function environments: military, tech, education, law enforcement. If brain-to-brain data sharing enhances group performance, then refusing to participate could make you unemployable, uncooperative, suspicious. Neuralink won't need to be mandated. It will be socially engineered into necessity. There's also the question of control. These systems are programmable. That means the filters, safeguards, and permissions are set by someone. If 2 people connect and one sends an unwanted image, emotion, or impulse, what's the recourse? You can block a phone number. Can you block a thought? Can you retract a memory? Can you delete the experience of feeling someone else's grief or desire? And then there's advertising. If the tech exists to transmit emotion, what's stopping corporations from injecting branded feeling? A restaurant chain could make you feel hunger. A political ad could bypass your logic and speak straight to your emotional core. We've already seen experiments where scent, sound, and color are used to trigger subconscious responses. Add neural implants to the mix, and you have literal thought implants. At the center of all this is Neuralink, and its true ambition is not to fix the broken, but to rewrite the functional. Musk knows that thought is the last frontier. The internet gave us access to information. Social media gave us access to each other's personas. But Neuralink offers access to truth, the raw, unfiltered truth of what someone thinks before they say it. That kind of access is seductive and extremely dangerous, because what starts as consensual telepathy will eventually become ambient telepathy. Always on, always syncing. And from there, it's only a matter of time before someone decides that private thought is an outdated concept. That internality is inefficient. That transparency is better for safety, for national security, for mental health. But we were not designed to be transparent to everyone. Our thoughts are sacred. They are where we meet ourselves, where we talk to God, where we wrestle with our purpose and shadow. When those thoughts are exposed, even voluntarily, something breaks, something ancient, something essential. Neuralink doesn't just offer a medical revolution, it offers the final digitization of human identity. So, what do? First, we name what this is. Not enhancement, not connection, but convergence. The collapse of mental boundaries. Second, we demand lines. Sacred, legal, technological. No system should have access to the human mind without full, revocable consent and total transparency. Third, we protect mental sovereignty. That means education, resistance, and spiritual grounding in a time when thought itself is becoming currency. Let me leave you with this. Telepathy sounds beautiful, but in a world where everything can be hacked, sold, and manipulated, your thoughts may be the last thing that truly belong to you. And if you give them away, bit by bit, bot by bot, you may wake up one day thinking things you never chose, and never know the difference. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing, and no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.